My name is Ashley Hine, and the following presentation is my reflection from the Turning Gears simulation for my business ethics class at Wisconsin Lutheran College. In each of the scenarios, it challenged us by giving real-life situations that triggered a series of effects and consequences. The scenarios challenge each of us to ask ourselves, did my decisions stay in line with my moral values? Am I making the decision for a career advancement? Did I consider all the financial implications? What impact will this have on employees? Do I have the buy-in from all the stakeholders? What is the community impact going to be? And lastly, did I make a decision within the overall organization values? In every scenario, I made sure to review the mission statement to guide my decisions. The mission statement was, Turning Gears is committed to producing fun, educational, and high-quality toys that give children a head start on life full of imagination, learning, and happiness. Our hard work, good management, and a focus on quality enable us to create a compelling value for all of our stakeholders. The mission and vision statements of a company should be the guiding force when making these type of key decisions that have such a wide impact. In the first scenario, we were given a series of options on different advertisement solutions. The ethical dilemma in this case was the fact that the target audience is children from ages 3 to 5 years old. The community has spoken up about the negative impacts of targeting children who are too young to make an educated decision. The advertisement I chose was directed for the children and not the parents. I understood my decision was a higher expense than the others, and there were major concerns from the parents in the community. I felt the advertisement I selected was appropriate and educational for the child and will guide them to be a more informed consumer in the future. However, this did lead the parents in the community to question the company's moral values. I still felt my advertisement was appropriate and ended up increasing the units sold and increasing brand awareness. This decision did come at the expense of upset parents and frustration from the sales team from losing some of their commission. The second scenario started with the decision and time management. With 20 minutes left in the day, I chose to send copies of the latest marketing survey results, checking with Jared about the presentations for Toy Fair, and to meet with Hastings from R&D. As a leader and key decision maker for the company, I believe in making selfless choices. The tasks I decided to complete were chosen because other employees' workloads depended on me finishing those tasks before I left for the day. A part of driving an ethical community at work is making choices as a servant leader. The key focus of this scenario was how to handle a potentially dangerous material on a toy console. Despite some pushback from other leaders in the organization, I felt passionate about the customer safety and satisfaction with the product. Going back to the mission statement, as a company, we need to set a standard to have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to the possibility of putting the employees' and children's safety at risk. I ended up proposing to recall the units that have been sold and labeling the current and future inventory with warning labels. The board decided to utilize the warning labels but did not want to recall the product, and instead they wanted to prepare for customer complaints. At the end of the scenario, I found out the company is now in legal dealings with customers who have been impacted by the Plax material. For me, this proved how making the right ethical decision will persevere in the end. For me, scenario 3 was the easiest decision I had to make during the entire simulation. A parents group who comprised of over 50% of the consumer base asked our company to change television networks because the current network we were on had advertisements for shows with same-sex parents and minority groups. This was a no-brainer. I would not make a decision that discriminated against any individual, including the stakeholders of our company. Changing networks would show our employees that we are not an equal opportunity employer. The potential loss of staying on the network was worth staying true to our moral values. I took into full consideration the viewpoints of the customers, employees, and managers, and I was relieved to see the support from the network and other stakeholders after deciding to not change networks. The last scenario was the most challenging for me. Through a documentary on TV, our company received allegations and negative backlash from using a manufacturing company who practices child labor. The decision I had to make was whether to still utilize this manufacturing facility or find a new one who did not use child labor. I admit I was instantly clouded by my own viewpoints on this topic. I thought, there is no way turning gears to support child labor practices, and we need to find a new company immediately. After making a series of decisions to confirm the manufacturing facility was using child labor, I pulled the plug on the operations in that facility. However, it was made very clear I made the wrong decision. My rash decision based on my own personal viewpoints caused the company millions of dollars. It turns out the country where the manufacturing facility is located relies on this income to support their families, and the alternative for their families could be much, much worse. Additionally, there was required educational programs at the facility that all children were required to take. I learned that pulling the plug on this facility did far greater damage to their community and our company than the actual child labor practice itself.